Right now in 10, a class action lawsuit filed against Roblox. Why parents say the video game company failed to protect children.
And the Attorney General of New York has been indicted by a grand jury. We'll explain the charges she faces.
Plus, the Vilas Zoo says goodbye to its grizzly bears, why they're moving the animals, and what species will be taking their place. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. We begin tonight with breaking news after reports of a shooting on Madison's southeast side.
For more on the police investigation, what we know right now, let's go to Armand Rahman. Armand?
Cleared about half an hour ago, and after officers from Madison and Monona were called to the area of Dutch Mill Road right nearby Calvary Chapel, Madison around 8 p.m. tonight. Our photojournalist on scene did report seeing a drone deployed, but dispatch could not confirm whether anyone was hurt. This is a developing story. We'll keep following any injuries, any news about suspects, or any updates from law enforcement, and we will be posting it on air and online at channel3000.com. Eric and Sarah.
Armand, thank you. Now to the weather. Said to be a sports-filled weekend between the Badgers, Packers, Brewers playing, but will the weather play ball?
Good question, Alex. How's the forecast?
Indeed, it will play ball. Here are tailgate temperatures for the Badger game on Saturday in the low to mid 60s, sunny skies, kickoff 62, and at the end of the game, temperatures will dip down into the 50s. So you might want to bring that light red sweatshirt or that light red jacket for the Badger game. Packers forecast here, beautiful fall day here. Lambeau, 67, 66 at halftime, games end about 65. Clouds will be on the increase, watching the chance of a few showers, but I think those showers are going to hold off until much later in the evening on Sunday. We've got a couple showers that we're keeping an eye on in Radar 3000, even a couple lightning bolts between Eau Claire and La Crosse. In just a couple moments, I'll be back and we will track this line of showers and a couple embedded thunderstorms and see how far it makes it into southern Wisconsin and which communities might get wet.
Sounds good. Thank you, Alex. Well, you may have a son or daughter obsessed with the online game Roblox. It allows the user to create their own virtual avatar and then play a variety of mini games, quests, and stories made by other users.
It's the latest technology. Child mental health experts tell our Armand Rahman that parents need to develop a plan for. But hundreds of families, including a mother and daughter from right here in Wisconsin, are suing the company because of reports that the game doesn't do enough to keep unsavory characters away from children.
A Wisconsin mother says her 5-year-old daughter was groomed and exploited sexually on the online game Roblox because they say they don't have enough restrictions. They hope parents are aware if their kids use the online game because they might not always know who's on the other side of the screen.
So to put it all into the parents is just kind of not fair, right? Because there's so many people working to draw the attention of kids.
According to Dr. Ashvin Sood, the child psychiatrist at SSM Health, even though the focus of this lawsuit is Roblox, the potential dangers of the virtual world are not limited to one game or app.
It's not just somebody goes onto Roblox and all of a sudden predators are on top of them, asking them for like all these different types of things. It's kids can be groomed over time and then pulled off the application. And that's the dangerous part.
But according to attorneys representing a mother and her 5-year-old girl in Outagamie County, Roblox could have done more to protect her daughter.
This girl was lulled into exchanging photos with someone she thought was another child. Turns out, full-grown adult pedophile, a predator. And suddenly, now, for the rest of her life, this little girl has naked pictures of her out on the internet that she can never get back.
That's why they're among 600 families who have gone to groups like Dolman Law to try and hold Roblox accountable. Dolman now alleges Roblox markets itself to parents as safe, but doesn't do enough to protect kids. Anyone can select any age for themselves when they sign up, and the buildable environments in the game allegedly mirror real-life predatory environments like Epstein Island. In the past several months, Roblox has upped some safety measures and added extra AI scans. Parents can also block or limit specific environments with content maturity ratings.
I take a lot of pride in the fact that after we've filed these suits, we're starting to see the changes. That's the whole point.
So your son or daughter now wants an account. Do you unplug? Dr. Sooth says not quite.
I call this playing into the narcissistic powerlessness of it.
Tell the kids they can only use one account for Roblox and explain each privacy control you set. Then walk them through how it's not just a game, it's its own environment with risk.
AI machinery can actually make a 30-year-old sound like a 12-year-old really quickly. What happens if you found out that 12-year-old was a 30-year-old? No shame in limiting as much as possible.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rama, News 3 Now.
A spokesperson with Roblox tells News 3 Now they do limit chat for younger users, don't allow the sharing of external messages, and have filters that block personal information from being shared. The statement continues to read, quote, while we cannot comment on claims raised in litigation, protecting children is a top priority, which is why our policies are purposely stricter than those found on many other platforms, end quote.
The Madison Police Department is investigating after 3 masked people attacked residents inside their home. This attack happened yesterday afternoon at the Luann Place Apartments on Madison's west side. 2 people were attacked. One of the victims was shot but is expected to survive. Neighbors we talked to say crime has not been a problem in their neighborhood.
I've never felt unsafe walking in this neighborhood. So I live right there. But yeah, I've never felt unsafe walking in the neighborhood.
Never had a problem. Been over here for like almost 4 years. Never had an issue at all.
So far, no arrests have been made. If you have any information related to this attack, you're asked to please call Madison Area Crime Stoppers.
A joint investigation by Janesville and Milton police leads to the arrest of a man accused of child sex crimes. Janesville police say they received a report on Tuesday of a possible child abduction. The caller said a child had left home with 22-year-old Daniel Munoz. They were later both found in Walworth County. Police say an investigation uncovered that criminal activity had occurred between the child and Munoz over the course of several months in both Janesville and Milton. Munoz was taken into custody and faces several charges, including second-degree sexual assault of a child and abduction of another's child.
A grand jury has indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James.
This comes after James pursued a civil fraud suit against President Trump before he returned to the Oval Office. Erica Brown reports from the White House.
New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted Thursday by a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia and is charged with 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of making false statements to a financial institution. The 5-page indictment alleges James made false statements related to her 2020 purchase of a home in Norfolk, Virginia, to secure more favorable interest rates. James denies any wrongdoing and in a video statement says she will aggressively fight the charges she calls a weaponization of the justice system.
These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost.
Last year, Letitia James secured a civil judgment of hundreds of millions of dollars against then former President Trump and his business for fraudulently inflating real estate assets, but an appeals court later tossed out the judgment. Last month, President Trump publicly urged Attorney General Pam Bondi to look into James, former FBI Director James Comey, and California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, who is also under investigation by the Justice Department.
All Americans should be concerned about this kind of raw abuse of the power of the Justice Department.
James's indictment comes just 2 weeks after a grand jury also indicted Comey on charges of lying to Congress. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
James' first court appearance set for October 24th. As Dane County leaders try to fill a $31 million hole in the county budget, the sheriff is concerned about staffing for his department. Currently, the office has 17 vacant deputy positions that it won't be able to fill next year. Sheriff Calvin Barrett says if the department doesn't have the appropriate staffing, the expected 2027 opening of a new jail may be delayed.
A successful budget will be to provide us with everything that we asked for, and none, and I'll repeat it again, none or zero vacant positions being taken to allow us to fill those so that we can properly open our new jail that's slated to open in 2027.
Now, the sheriff also added that the jail will be at maximum capacity when it opens in the middle of 2027. The Oregon School District Superintendent is retiring. Dr. Leslie Bergstrom will step down from that role at the end of the school year. She took over that position back in 2020 and has worked in the district for the last 22 years. The Oregon School Board will begin a search soon for a new superintendent. Dr. Bergstrom says she's committed to making the transition seamless.
Well, time is running out if you want to see 2 grizzly bears at the Henry Vilas Zoo in Madison. Today, the zoo announced that females Ash and Lexi will be moving to another accredited institution later this month. The move will help free up space for the zoo's brand new polar bears we've been telling you about. A 10-year-old polar bear named Nora will soon come to the Madison Zoo from the Oregon Zoo, keep mixing those up, in Portland. Both Ash and Lexi will be visible to the public until they depart for their new home.
Well, the Brewers back at Wrigley Field tonight looking to push ahead and eliminate the Cubs in the fourth game of their National League Divisional Playoff Series, but it's not going well. Cubs got 3 in the first inning, 3-run shot from Ian Happ. It is still 3-0. Not a lot of offense. Again, it's all coming in the first inning as the Cubs look to push this one to a Game 5 that would take place on Saturday night at AmFam Field.
Well, next at 10, a judge blocks the deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois.
And Israel and Hamas, one step closer to a peace deal. What the end of the war means for the Middle East and the families of hostages. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Israel and Hamas are one step closer to an historic peace deal.
And if it holds, it will mean an end to the fighting in Gaza. Palestinians who were driven from their homes are now hopeful they can return. While in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square, celebrations broke out as the deal promises to bring all Israeli hostages, both living and dead, home.
We are fighting for that moment for 2 years and 2 days, 734 days, to bring about the release of our loved ones. It is happening.
President Trump called the deal a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East and says he expects the hostages to be released as soon as Monday or Tuesday.
Tensions continue to rise on Capitol Hill with lawmakers still at odds over how to reopen the government. Today, Senate lawmakers once again rejected measures to restart funding. During a cabinet meeting, President Trump threatened to cut other federal programs he says are popular with his rivals, but offered no other details.
The congressional Democrats are holding the entire federal government hostage. We'll be making cuts that will be permanent, and we're only going to cut Democrat programs, I hate to tell you.
The impasse is triggering headaches at airports nationwide, with air traffic control facilities experiencing an increase in sick calls, while food banks across the country are stocking up, bracing for higher demand, with hundreds of thousands of federal workers and contractors going without pay. Despite the shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is calling some staff back to work. They're preparing the Consumer Price Index report. Trump administration officials say the data will be published before November 1st because it's needed to calculate 2026 Social Security payments. The BLS did not release its monthly jobs report last week. That usually comes out on the first Friday of every month.
A federal judge has granted a temporary restraining order blocking President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois. This order will last 14 days. In her ruling Thursday, the judge said she sees, quote, no credible evidence of a rebellion in the state. Meantime, a case about the deployment of the Oregon National Guard is still under investigation.
Boy, it was a picture-perfect fall day out there. Sunshine, temps in the mid-60s.
Hard to complain, Alex. Will this stick around?
It's going to stick around to answer that question. How about this? 65 Saturday, mild light winds, sunny skies. Sunday will inch the temperatures up to 69, mild, although we'll be watching the chance for showers very late Sunday night. I think the entire day will be dry on Sunday. So a nice weekend ahead. Speaking of dry, there are actually some showers and a couple of thunderstorms. At times we've had a little bit of lightning just up towards the Eau Claire area west of La Crosse. We're watching this front move towards the east. Eventually it's going to make its way to Camp Douglas to Viroqua around 12:30, 1 o'clock or so in the morning. We'll march that line here into the Madison area by 4 or 5 o'clock. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm, so don't be surprised to hear some thunder. Maybe see a little bit of lightning today. But take a note here, too. There are breaks between these showers and that isolated thunderstorm or two. So not everyone's going to get wet with this weather system that's weak at that as it moves through the area. Here comes that cold front right around 10 o'clock. That cloud line lining up from Mineral Point to Madison to Beaver Dam. Cloudy at 10 o'clock. Sunny to the north and west, and eventually that sun will work its way across the rest of the area. We will have a sunny end to the day on Friday, and that's going to help those temperatures rise. Remember, during our earlier newscasts, our future track was showing quarter, half inch. We've got dry air out there. And as I mentioned, that dry air is going to try to eat away at some of those showers and that isolated rumble or two of thunder as it moves into southern Wisconsin. In our latest update, a tenth to a quarter of an inch of water expected across the area. So not expecting a big rain. And we could use rain. Now, again, farmers on the other side of the camera, I know you like the dry weather, but Drought Monitor has updated here. As I predicted last week, a significant expansion of abnormally dry conditions across much of southern Wisconsin, even friends down towards Monroe, over towards Footville and Janesville, approaching moderate drought conditions. This is deja vu to what we had last year, that dryness building in the fall, and hopefully we can get this weather pattern to flip around after we get the harvest in, of course. Lows upper 40s to the Madison areas to the east, out ahead of those clouds and showers. Where the clouds and showers come in a little bit sooner, temperatures will be in the 50s off to the west of Madison. High temperatures tomorrow, all banking on when that sun comes out. We'll do low 70s to the west, and we'll do mid to upper 60s from Madison and areas off towards the east. So that will take a little longer for those clouds to filter on out. Again, we got that Badger game Saturday, the Packers game on Sunday. Take note through and through here. Got a rain chance Monday and a rain chance Thursday. Those are our two chances for rain. Otherwise, highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s to near 50. That's above normal for this time of year. And again, here's the Badger game forecast. 60s for the game for kickoff, and then 50s at the end of the game. And for the Packers game, beautiful temperatures in the 60s, maybe a few clouds towards the end of the game, but I don't think it's going to be raining in Lambeau at the time of the end of the game from our latest weather models that are coming in right now. So that's good news.
Great news.
All right.
And for those who really love winter, it's coming eventually. You can get winter ready with the First Warn Weather Team. Next Wednesday, we have a special on at 6:30 p.m. on WISC TV. They head the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. They, including Alex, our whole team, they're talking about the dangerous reality of snow squall warnings, why they're issued, what they mean, and how a sudden whiteout can turn deadly in seconds.
When there's low visibility, you might not be able to see up ahead that there's this multi-car accident that's happened and you drive right into it. So very dangerous situation that we're trying to warn people of.
So be sure to mark your calendar. The Winter Ready Special airs next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. right here on Channel 3.
Coming up in sports, the Packers may be without their kicker, Brandon McManus, over the weekend. If he can't go, well, what are their options? Jason Wilde tells us next.
All right, in sports, everyone, let's check back to see how the Brewers are doing.
We're going to do it really fast, though. It's 4-zip Cubs. They're starting the top of the 7th inning. Game 5 will be Saturday night in Milwaukee. Well, as the Bengals come to Lambeau Field this weekend, there's a major question on the Green and Gold's special teams.
That's right. Kicker Brandon McManus is dealing with a painful thigh injury. News 3 Now's senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has more on his condition and how the team is preparing to possibly play without him.
The Green Bay Packers will take on the Cincinnati Bengals here at Lambeau Field in less than 72 hours. And right now, they don't know who their kicker will be for that game. Veteran kicker Brandon McManus suffered a quadriceps injury in his right leg, which is his kicking leg, in practice on Wednesday. He did not practice today. And depending on who you talk to, he either will miss the game, won't miss the game, or we won't know until game day. Packers coach Matt LaFleur early in the day saying that this is a major concern. Brandon McManus talking after practice, saying he's dealt with something like this before, and he expects that he will be kicking on Sunday. And special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia, he's not sure what's going to happen yet.
It just kind of happened, right? And so I think we're going to lean on him. To his point, he's been through this before. We'll kind of see how he feels tomorrow as to what he's going to do in tomorrow's practice, whether he gets some kicks in or not, and just kind of lean on how he feels, how the rehab part goes through the next few days, and plan on him playing on Sunday as of right now because he's been through this before and he feels like he can go. So he's a guy that's got a lot of experience, and to his point, he's been through this once before, so we'll lean in that direction until something changes.
As a precaution, the Packers are bringing in 2 kickers for workouts on Friday. One of them, Greg Joseph, was with them in training camp a couple years ago, so they're familiar with him. In addition, punter Daniel Whelan can both kick field goals in an emergency and kick off after scores if need be. So the Packers have some options if they choose to go with McManus. They don't add a kicker, and then they still have to play the game without him if something flares up in that leg of his. We'll have full coverage of everything that transpires between now and kickoff. Again, Packers Bengals right here at Lambeau Field and right here on Channel 3 on Sunday at 3:25. We'll have full coverage at channel3000.com for free. And don't forget to sign up for our Packers newsletter while you're there. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Jason. And if you didn't hear it, you can watch the Packers take on the Bengals right here on Channel 3 this Sunday, kickoff 3:25. Well, you also won't want to forget to tune in to the Wisconsin Huddle later this week. Sports Director Andrew Banstra will be joined by Wisconsin Volleyball's Kristen Simon. This is as the number 7 Badgers look to continue their current win streak after sweeping Michigan. That show airs this Friday at 6:30 right now. Well, right after News 3 Now at 6.
Forward Madison's Isaac Enking will have a chance to take the field against Lionel Messi next week. The midfielder was called up to Puerto Rico's national team for an upcoming match against Argentina down in Fort Lauderdale. Enking is on loan at forward from Rhode Island FC and has 2 goals in his 11 appearances. He's made several international appearances for Puerto Rico. His first goal came for the team in a win over the Bahamas back in June of 2021. And that is it for sports.
And Alex will be back with a final check of the weather after this. Finally tonight, an injured monarch butterfly was able to fly again after undergoing a wing transplant. This is real, people. The procedure took place at a nature preserve in Long Island, New York. They used a wing from a dead butterfly, matched it to the broken wing, performing a very delicate repair.
This is pretty unbelievable. I'm looking at this. Did they use an anesthesia on this? How did they get it to sit still? The result is you'd never know that the monarch is now flying with a replacement wing. Look at that. That's remarkable, isn't it? The insect can be seen flying away after the procedure. According to the Department of Agriculture, monarchs are the only butterflies known to migrate 2 ways for thousands of miles every year. Hopefully it didn't get, eaten right after all that work.
I think that they're holding it down with whatever that is, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you can't knock them out,
watch
right?
This. Look at the glue that they put down. I assume it's glue.
That white stuff.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Impressive.
It is very cool.
It's like, thanks, man. I'm out. I'm going.
I love butterflies, too.
They are beautiful.
They are.
Hey, we've got a lot going on this weekend.
Yes.
Sarah is running in the Chicago Marathon.
Yes.
And she doesn't want it to be 85. What's the perfect weather? Like 60?
I would say 50 or 60.
That's what you're going to get.
It'll be a little warmer, but after however many hours it takes. But
well, yeah, it's not going to be like that one that we talked about many years ago. Upper 80s, they had to cancel it. No, nothing like that. Beautiful running weather this weekend. Beautiful weather for us too in southern Wisconsin. We do have to track a couple showers off towards the north and towards the west. Maybe a rumble of thunder across the area, but many places will also be dry tonight. And there's that beautiful weekend ahead, 60s and dry.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. The Colbert Show is coming up next.
And our next show, of course, is tomorrow morning, starting at 4:30. You can also always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.